I'm felt like doing something that I usually don't like doing. That's a political video on this channel. If you are on TSP for a while, you know I don't even like to talk about politics because, quite frankly, I feel like a lot of people get lost into the red versus blue mentality, and I don't think that's a healthy mentality. I don't think that's a correct philosophy to go about life because if we're being honest with ourselves, there's shades of purple in beliefs. There's shades of purple in life. Now,
I don't know why that switched over to that. But overall, there's shades of purple in life. The main reason I don't like talking politics because, quite frankly, who gives a flying F what I believe? And why do I believe that my viewpoint would be any better than anyone else's? It's actually one of the reasons why I can't watch late night TV. It's just a lot of it is, I feel like, foolish behavior and just so much holier than thou. Like, oh no, I don't believe you did the right thing. But liberals, getting to the point of this stream, I've seen a lot of coverage, like Jimmy Kimmel on stream or on his national broadcast, crying like an outright pussy. Oh my god, like, I just hope for the women, like the women are going in cages or some shit, or like, there's gonna be some massive beating of all minorities. Like, that's what Jimmy Kimmel crying like a pussy on national TV will never not be funny. I'm sorry, it was just laughable. And then Stephen Colbert and even Seth Meyers, it's laughable. It's laughable with the, like, one thing that did stand out to me with Jimmy Kimmel, he's like, we all feeling it right now, and for the 70 plus million that voted for Trump, you made a mistake, but you just don't know it yet, because Jimmy Kimmel knows better than everybody else. And it's just such a asinine mentality to have. And funny enough, it's one of the main reasons why a lot of people just got kind of fed up with Democrats, got fed up with liberals. Now, I'll say this. I'm more moderate. I'm not like left or right. I'm not anything of that nature. I look at issues, and maybe if a Republican has a great idea how to fix something, go with that. Democrat has a great idea and wants to fix something, go with that. I don't believe in just being locked into red or blue. I think that's just foolishness. I do. But the one thing that I just think was just really dumb the last, I would say, 2 days, or a few days actually, right? 3 days, it's Friday, since Trump has been reelected and will be the next president, is like, oh, well, it's the end of the world. And everybody that voted for Trump is like a racist, a bigot, like the worst human being possible. And over 70 million people voted for this person. Maybe instead of just blaming the people that voted for Trump, realize the reason why people didn't vote for your girl, Kamala. And I have very strong opinions about Kamala Harris. Like, first off, she has 18 different accents. And I understand being a politician is like blending in, but it just came off very phony and fake. And just very manufactured. And I know politicians, like, again, supposed to blend in and try to fit in, but it just came off as very cringeworthy. And then, just quite frankly, she was not selected by the American people. She was chosen. I know Biden dropped out because of his health stuff or whatever, and I mean, if we're being honest with you, his mental faculties have taken a dip over his presidency. You could kind of tell him just getting a little bit slower, not really sharp. So I understand him walking away, but she was chosen. She was chosen by the Democrats. She wasn't picked by the American people. Or I should say, she was picked by the Democrats. She wasn't chosen by the voters. And I think that's why a lot of people just say, I don't know about this. I mean, it's not like Kamala Harris was an amazing candidate when she ran for president back in the day, and she wowed a lot of people. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, if I remember correctly, like just absolutely ate her, just destroyed her. What Americans look at right now is like, for example, just a simple bag of chips is $6, $6 to $7, and people are struggling to live paycheck to paycheck. They don't know how they're going to get by because the economy has gone to shit. Supply chain is just completely inflated to the point where groceries used to cost me around maybe 60, 80 bucks. Now is up to maybe 150, 170 bucks, depending on what you get, obviously. But you really had to bargain shop. You had to really shop intelligently. I mean, to the point, our economy, our country has gotten so bad that the idea of living in a van and living in these small little manufactured little container huts that's now sold at Walmart, like that's a great idea. All these small houses, I get the allure of that, but things have gotten so bad. You have people living out of their cars, and they're thinking that's like a lifestyle. And it's just, things haven't been great the last 4 years, and American people got tired of it. I think if Democrats focused on the middle class and focused about their struggles and their problems and really kind of stood on that platform and addressed like, hey, this is how we're going to fix this. This is how we're going to make things better for the middle class in America, it reached more people. But it just seemed like they were just running purely on the Trump bad, Trump evil. And I don't think Trump's a perfect human being by any stretch of the imagination. If you've followed the show, and it's been a while since I've even talked about politics, I think Trump can be kind of an ass. But at the same point, during his last administration, I mean, things were a little bit better before the whole pandemic hit. You know, so it just pains me to see that, like, how a lot of Democrats and a lot of liberals overall just don't see why 70 plus million people voted the way they did, and they're just going to kind of try to type, oh, they're garbage, they're this. It's just, I don't understand it. Like, Biden's administration did Kamala Harris no favor. Let's make that very clear. But she was also in that administration, and she was a part of it. I mean, the border. I mean, what border? I have seen locally in Massachusetts, the migrant crisis has reached the point where a lot of local hotels, they can't be hotels anymore because they're feeding and sheltering people. And I believe in, like, asylum seekers. Like, you want to give people a better chance to live. I understand that. But to expect the American taxpayer to keep footing the bill, and the cost of living is going through the roof, yet you're paying these people thousands of dollars a month to live for free and giving them, like, free food and all that. It's just, there's a lot of problems that people just said enough is enough. We got to try something different. And I think that's why Trump was elected. People just got kind of fed up. They're like, you know what? This hasn't worked out well. This has actually been an unmitigated disaster. I'm going to give Trump another try and see if he can do better. Because, quite frankly, it can't get much worse. Seditial says, but to be honest, 18 different accidents is worse than a convicted criminal in a history. I say, but I'm just here for popcorn. Democrats don't understand that. As long as you tell people all will be okay, you can stick up to anything if they're bad. Please don't. People don't understand economics. Just promise them the magic beans and you'll be the king of the world. Now, I'm actually going to go to the store here, but I will say, some of the problems that we face with inflation, and I actually did fact check this because my co-host told me about this. I mean, some of it actually did begin under Trump because of the stimulus checks, but that was to be expected. And I don't begrudge Trump doing that at the time because the country was hurting during the pandemic, and we had a lot of people just lose their jobs, barely getting by, couldn't get by at all. So I think it was a necessary evil, or not evil, but it was like a necessary option to take at the time. But I think Biden didn't do himself any favors. I mean, his administration's been not great. And Well, I also think the pick of Kamala Harris, I mean, that's your best option. That's the pick. That's the fucking pick. Kamala Harris. Like, who was like, before, let's be honest with each other, people. Who was like at that, like, oh, you know what? You know what I really want to run is Kamala Harris. Yes. She gets me excited to vote. Like, come on. Enough. You know, there's a certain pizzazz. For all the faults Trump can have, whatever you view him as politically, or what do you think of his policy, that's all. You gotta admit, Trump has a little bit of swag to him. He carries himself in a certain way that, yeah, he's not so clean cut. He'll say some shit you're like, why did you say that? But he comes off as a little bit more human in that way, and a little less robotic. Like, Kamala Harris to me was very robotic. You know, the only time that she really stood out to me, where she in that speech, she's like, well, why don't you say it to my face? And like the debate, that was actually probably her best moment during this whole campaign. But, you know, Trump and the conservatives overall, like Trump spanked Kamala, because Trump, even though he's far older, was more plugged in to the culture, and he would go on these podcasts, have these long form conversations that Kamala Harris refused to do unless they could edit it and make it look better. She she's a politician. She came off far more, how would I put this, manufactured. Trump did a very good job of humanizing himself again and making people like, oh, maybe he's not that bad of a human being. I mean, and what was it, 10% increase in black vote? I think about 8% in Asian. Like, Trump saw remarkable improvement in pretty much every demographic. And while the polls said, oh, this was going to be close, this was nowhere near close. This was an election in which Kamala just got spanked, if I'm being honest with you. She did not look good, not look great. And, you know, what will America look like underneath a Trump presidency? I don't think it's going to be perfect. There's going to be some bumps along the road. I mean, even if his presidency doesn't go hot, I don't think it's going to be the raising of the Third Reich again, which some people try to proclaim, which I think that's, I get it. You have a team, you have a color that you represent, but to try to act like the American people are so stupid that they don't understand what the bullshit they're being fed, I don't know. It's kind of sad. Kind of sad in a way. I don't know. We got another few more. We got 4 more. We got 4 years of Trump. We'll see how he does. I'm hoping, personally, as an American, that he does well. I'm hoping he gets us back on the right track, back concerned with like what we should be. Foreign wise, I'm hoping that foreign policy wise we're a little bit stronger. What did decisions say? I'm mostly concerned about the long run, how much damage will Trump do that will still be noticeable, let's say 20 or 40 years down the road. I mean, I could still say if you want to have this real ugly conversation, there's policies that happened under Jesus, like politicians in the 80s, we still see the ramifications from when it comes to, involving ourselves in foreign wars. Now, Trump has said that he doesn't want to be in wars, and that's mainly what I'm kind of concerned with. But will there be some side effects? Maybe. But I don't think Trump's going to be some evil dictator that people are trying to portray him as on these left-leaning outlets. I mean, is he going to be the greatest president ever? No, probably not. I'm not going to say that. Like, that's some of the funny stuff I see on some conservative side, but no, it's just, I think he'll be fine. I think he should be an improvement over Biden, but I will also say this out loud. Are these really our best options? Is this it? Because if this is it, I mean, it's not looking great. It's not looking great. I think overall, we can do better as a country and as a nation. Biden and Trump, or Harris and Trump, or Trump and Clinton, or fuck it. You want to name it, you can name it. I mean, honestly, even like McCain and like Obama, like none of these people are amazing. And there's a lot more to the political side to just, the president. There's also like the House, the Senate, and things of this nature. What I would love from politicians, and I speak this from the heart, I'd love y'all to actually come together and fix the real problems we face in this fucking country, instead of getting caught in this like red versus blue mentality. Actually send, actually help us as a people. And how do I send a link? I don't know, but I don't know how to do that. But I don't know actually how to do that, DG. But I think, quite frankly, when it comes down to it, the American people, like, our issue should be taken care of, and not all this bullshit right versus left. I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican. I just want you to do right by the people and vote about issues, or take care of issues that we actually are concerned about. And that's, I can start a poll. How do I add you, bro? I don't know, man. I've never done this shit. Never done this shit before. But oh shit. But yeah, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, that's what my main concern is. I'm hoping Trump does well. If he does well, I'm happy with it. But I think he's some mystical fucking savior that's gonna ride up on a horse with a flag and save everything. But Marty, I'll probably just, because I'm probably gonna get off here in a minute. I'll probably just actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's end this stream. You create it. I'm gonna go shop. Let me give you a call. Actually, I'll give you a call. We'll do this stream again with you on it. So just thanks for watching. We're gonna be back in like a few minutes, I guess. How do I end this shit?